Yep.
Let me call the meeting to order. We stand for the invocation, please. Lord, I pray you'll be with this mayor and this council tonight as we transact the business of this city. Give us the strength and the wisdom to do the job that the citizens have elected us to do. In your name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business is and it's been a while since we had a council meeting, so I had to ask directions on how to get down here. The proposed approval of the city council minutes from January 26, 2015. If the members of the council had an opportunity to review those, is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Crawford,
Second.
second by who? Mr. Smith? Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Minutes approved. Next item on the agenda,
Bless you.
communications from the mayor. From the time we had our last council meeting, we had a couple of members of our community that have passed away. Ronnie Bowman, who started as a police officer here in the city of Fort Oglethorpe, ran for sheriff and was elected to sheriff in Catoosa County, served several years. Governor Zell Miller appointed him as colonel of the Georgia State Patrol. Ronnie passed away a couple of weeks ago. He changed the course of history in the sheriff's department forever. Wesley Smith contributed a great deal to this community. He was there as a volunteer, he and his family, when I was chairman of the County Board of Commissioners. Wesley raised tons of money to help Benton Place campus be constructed. He was there when the groundbreaking took place for the library. The health department was built. The learning center was built. The senior citizen center, the plans for the colonnade, and a lot of those things that are in place today. Wesley Smith and his family made it happen. Without him, this county would look different today than what it does. He is one of those few people that you'll know in your life, when they leave this world, he leaves the grass a little greener than what it was when he got here. Let's stand and have a moment of silence for Mr. Bowman and Mr. Smith. Thank you, Mr. Smith, and thank you, Mr. Bowman, for your contributions to our community. Next item on the agenda, zoning matters, we have none. Ordinances, we have none. Resolutions, we have none. Unfinished business, we have none. Reading of city clerk of any communications, we have none. New business, Craig Crawford, Dizzy Dean, representative. Mr. Crawford.
Mr. Mayor, that's going to be presented by Mr. Frank Seabolt. Is Mr. Seabolt in the audience? Would he please come forward?
Come on, Frank. Frank and I go back many, many years.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to carry these two gentlemen with me because they want to do the work.
Now, Frank, you do a lot of work too.
He finally admitted it.
Do I have to turn this on? Can y'all hear me?
You're on.
Each year, our Dizzy Dean organization has a yearly banquet, and we give out several awards to parks and individuals. And one of the awards is called the President's Award, and it's usually given to an individual. But we did something a little different this year. Last year, during state tournament time, we had a little problem with a park that was hosting, what, four, wasn't it? 4 state tournaments, and we had to pull them and not have them. So we were real short on time. So we started looking in the district up here, and the first park that came to mind that we contacted for help was Fort Oglethorpe. And when we did that, they jumped right in and hosted all these states and helped us out. So this year, what we did, instead of giving the plaque to an individual, like I said, we gave this to Fort Oglethorpe Rec Association. And it says, for the many years of support and dedication to Dizzy Dean, but mainly for last year. I would like to add one thing, and we, at Dizzy Dean, we're the largest state Georgia is, but we send all our teams to South Haven to a World Series, but they don't all go. And the teams that don't go, we recommend that they stay here and go and participate in the Rick Honeycutt World Series. And I think Craig will tell you that we do have a lot of teams, but we really appreciate what y'all did, and the city council too. And Craig, if you'll come up here, I guess we want to give this to one of y'all, so you're still the coach and everything here. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
There is one other thing. I'm gonna leave a dozen of these hats. Now y'all don't have to wear them. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll have 5 more. But I'm gonna leave them with Craig, and we'd like to leave y'all a hat that says Dizzy Dean Baseball.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah.
Next item on the agenda, proposed approval to purchase a replacement motor for Beaver Road. Mr. Parker?
Mr. Mayor, I can take care of this.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we had one of our pumps break down beyond repair at the Beaver Road Pump Station. We were able to find or Phil and his crew was able to find a pump substantially less than what we had paid for in the past from Smith and Lovelace in the amount of $8,500, and asking council approval to purchase that motor.
Is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Smith,
Second.
second by Mr. Rogers. Any further discussion? Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Gray?
Yes.
Ms. Stennett?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yeah.
Motion carried unanimous. Next item on the agenda, proposed approval for Cloud Springs Road sewer engineering. Mr. Parker?
I'll take care of this, Mr. Mayor. We have had some inquiries from the property owners and potential businesses to be located between Dietz Road and I-75 on the south side of Cloud Springs Road. Fortunately, a few years ago, council had the foresight when they put in the sewer to go to the college property. They put the sewer across Dietz Road and made a manhole for potential growth in the future. I've had several of these businesses make inquiry as to when we would put the sewer in. I advised them that, of course, we did not have the available funds. However, several of the potential businesses have expressed an interest in assisting the city in installing these sewers by paying an impact fee. to assist us with it. So in light of that, I've asked CTI to give me some proposal on the engineering services. They have, that was approximately $76,400. I'm asking council to give me approval up to $80,000 to obtain engineering services from CTI, should we elect to go ahead and prioritize this as a sewer project.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Smith,
Second.
second by Mr. Gray.
I
Any-
got is, now all that's going, is that station first, right there, across from, there at Deach Road? You're talking
Yeah.
about already there?
We've got to put, we put a manhole there, when we install the sewer to the college.
Is that already hooked on that business?
There's nothing tied to that manhole. We put it there for future development. We wanted to go underneath the road before they went and paved it, so we would not have to open cut it.
Okay. Now, I saw up behind those stations up there at Scruggs,
Yes, sir.
I saw them drilling, I thought, under Scruggs Road.
That's a different sewer project where we've approved to go underneath and put a manhole on the east side of Scruggs Road to accommodate those lots there beside Costco's and next to that convenience store.
Okay, now one of those convenience stores was in the city. Did the other one come in?
Yes, yes, sir.
It did?
They're
Because
in
there
the
was
sewer.
a sewer line went down. For me, it had hooked on a long time ago.
Yes, sir, they're in the sewer.
Okay.
I mean, they're in the city.
Do what?
Nothing.
I'm getting old.
Anyone else? Any further discussion? Mr. Smith?
Yeah.
Ms. Stinney?
Yes.
Mr. Gray?
Yes.
Mr. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Motion carried unanimous. Next item on the agenda, proposed approval for Mack Smith Road Sewer Project. You gonna handle this, Mr. Goulart?
Yes, sir, I will. This is a project we've been working on for quite some time. We went out for bids on this project. The low bid is to Brown Brothers, Inc., in the amount of $1,685,013. That bid tally has been approved by CTI. Would recommend approval of that bid for that project.
Is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion?
Motion by Mr. Smith,
Second.
second by Mr. Crawford. Any further discussion? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Stinney?
Yes.
Mr. Gray?
Yes.
Mr. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Motion carried unanimous. Next item on the agenda, proposed approval for three-phase ball field lighting invoice. Mr. Long?
I'll take care
You
of
gonna
this.
handle that too, Mr.
I'll
Goulart?
take care of it too. This will be the final phase for the ball fields on Barnhart Circle at this time. This will be the installation of the three-phase power for the new lights that we put in. The city will recognize a substantial savings in the power because it's a three-phase. And I'm recommending approval of the invoice to North Georgia Electric in the amount of $19,667.61.
Is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion?
Motion by Mr. Smith, second. Is there a second?
Yeah.
Second by Ms. Stinney. Any further discussion? Mr. Smith?
Yeah.
Ms. Stinney?
Yes.
Mr. Gray?
Yes.
Mr. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Motion carried unanimous. Next item on the agenda, proposed approval for vintage baseball. Chris McKeever, are you gonna handle this too?
I think I will defer to Miss Depkin. She's,
Okay, Jerry.
Well, I'm Jerry Depkin, and I'm a member of the board of the 6th Cavalry.
So, one more time, we're glad to bring you good news of things that are happening in Fort Oglethorpe from your various community groups. So I'd like to invite you all to let me take you out to the ball game, but you can't sing that at these ball games because we're going to be playing baseball according to 1864 rules. And that song was written in 1907, so we can't sing it. And then I was going to sell you popcorn, and I said, no, I'm going to sell you Cracker Jacks, because that's what you get at a baseball game. No, Cracker Jacks came in 1893. So you're not getting Cracker Jacks, and you're not getting Take Me Out to the Ball Game. But you are getting 1864 baseball. So if we go back from what we just saw with Dizzy Dean and what our guys with the Rec Association do, we go back from 2015 back to when the LFO Rec League really kind of got going in the 60s and 70s, and we go back to the Post in 1902 and the original baseball field, which is now the Rick Honeycutt Memorial Field, like whatever we got it called. And if you back up from 1902 to the War of 1864, 63-64 here in Chattanooga, Chickamauga, then you will see baseball being played when there was no fighting going on. And then, of course, you can go back to 1845 when the first rules were set down to play baseball. Baseball actually goes back to about 1830, but it finally got some rules by 45. So, we are now bringing baseball back to the Post. We love you guys, but this is more historic baseball, and it's called Vintage Baseball. We have 2 clubs now. There were 6 original clubs in the Nashville area. The second year they expanded to 2 clubs in Knoxville, and this year they're expanding to 2 clubs in Chattanooga. Because it was established, we're playing the rules of 1864, there were no baseball fields, there were no baseball stadiums, there were no walls, there were no bleachers. So consequently, they needed an open field. They did an exhibition game at Engel Stadium, which a lot of people went to. They then went, the Vintage Baseball Association then went to the National Park, the battlefield, to say, whoa, you have open fields, and this is what we need. Well, they can't do anything, we cannot do anything commercial in the boundaries of the battlefield. So Kim Coons said, hey, we have a great neighbor across the street called Fort Oglethorpe and the 6th Cav, and they have a polo field, that big open area that we all use for all sorts of things. And so they came and talked to the 6th Cav, and with the blessing of the city and the assistance of the city manager, we've reserved that part of the polo field. And so we are going to be playing. We have 2 teams. One's called the Mountain City team, and it has the logo of Lookout Mountain. And the other one is a really confusing one because it's a big C with a guy kind of looking fleet-footed, and that's the Chattanooga Lightfoot Club. Don't know where that name came from. Usually they base it on something historic. But we did have baseball here in 1864. So they're going to be on the polo field on Saturday afternoons. There's going to be a double header it's every other Saturday. And there are plenty of schedules that you'll be able to get around town. And first game will be at noon. The second game will be at 2:30. No admission. Bring a blanket or a chair and behave yourself, because this was a gentleman's game. If you don't want to play and they need players, you can be an arbiter. You like that sound? It's getting close to a lawyer. You can be an arbiter. You're not the umpire, but you are an arbiter. No one spits on you. No one screams at you. No one kicks dirt on your shoes. Nobody gets in your face, because this is a gentleman's game, and they were really serious about that. So, but they are looking for players, and they are looking for arbiters. So if you're not quite fleet of foot and 25 years old, come on down. If your waistline doesn't allow you to bend over and catch the balls on a bounce or on a fly, then come on down. Because it's 1864, the baseball gloves that came in 1870 and the 1880s, that's when baseball gloves came in. We're playing 1864. There are no gloves. So if you ever played hardball as a kid, and we didn't know better, so we played without gloves. Well, now we know better, and we're still playing without gloves, because this is your field of dreams at the polo field. The only, so we're inviting anybody who's a reenactor to come in uniform, or any kind of period dress along that line that fits into the era of probably of the war is probably the best way of putting it. Women can play. Yeah, the boys grew up. We love you all. Yeah. So there's no regulation that has, and the only 18 or older, but you can play younger if you can get your parents' permission. So if you got some 16-year-old out there, pitchers are underhand, so it's not like you have to be John Rocker and take care of the guys as a closer. The first game is going to be April 4th. The last game will be August 29th. And then there'll be a tournament. Each of the games, and they're encouraging you to go to each of the games, but each of the games is played in a historic location. And this is so cool. The national team plays at the Bicentennial Capitol Mall State Park. You can see the state capitol behind it. The Franklin team plays at the Canton Plantation, which is the Battle of Franklin. The Goodlettsville team plays at Manxer Station, which is an old stage stop. The Smyrna team is playing at the Sam Davis House. He was the young man that was executed for being a spy. And the Knoxville team plays at the Ramsey House downtown, and the Harriman team plays at the Roane State Community College, and the two Chattanooga teams play at the historic 6th Cavalry Polo Field. I mean, take your kids. When you guys are playing baseball with your kids and there's a downtime lull, send them over to watch it how it was played in 1864. I have been to the Field of Dreams. You have to understand you can just sit there and watch it happen in front of you. It is so cool. And just cheer. The 6th Cavalry, we'll be selling probably water. 1864, no Cokes. Oh, well, anyway. And we're going to find some different recipes of munchies that were created in 1864. We know jelly beans were around. So we'll take care of some little concessions to keep you happy for the 4 hours that you'll be there. But we're going to be people in, and we would like obviously the local business support. We have our programs. This is the one from last year, and I think there were 4 local businesses that took care of taking one-page ads for the initial support. And then this is not quite your pocket schedule, but that's what it looks like from the front. It's one of the Knoxville players. And when you play baseball in these games is when you earn a nickname. So somebody is going to nickname you as Long Legs or whatever, and everybody's got a really funky nickname. So, yeah. So if you like sports, if you just want to support the local effort of these guys getting out there just having fun, please come. For the first game is April 4th. And they're all on Saturday afternoon, except for the one game against Knoxville, and they only play on Sunday. So we'll be traveling here and there, and they'll be coming here, and yeah. Thank you for your assistance for the city.
Thank you, Jerry Devin.
Thanks, Jerry.
Next item on the agenda, proposed approval for opening day ceremonies.
We need to approve that.
Do what?
Do we need to approve that?
I don't think so. We don't need to vote to approve that, do we, Mr.
I
Cool?
don't believe so.
No.
And first of all, I'd like to say I went up there yesterday, took my grandson up, and it's something to see. I told him when he was a real ball player, he wouldn't use a glove like them guys, but no, it's well worth it, and we'll be back at it. So they did a scrimmage game. One of the Nashville teams was down yesterday playing. But this is for the opening day ceremonies for the Rec Association for it'll be April the 18th. It's opening ceremonies, and the Rec wanted to invite all the mayor, council, and citizens all up to the ball fields that morning. They'll start off with the parade there on Lafayette Road there. They line up at Kmart and just go up and circle around the polo field, and then have the ceremonies will start right after that, somewhere between 9:30 and 10. And so I'd like to ask for approval to have the parade go along up Lafayette Road and Barnhart Circle, and also invite y'all up.
Is there a motion to approve the parade?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Stinnett,
That's me.
Second.
second by Mr. Gray. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried unanimous.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, City Manager's Report. Mr. Goulart.
Just a couple of things. First of all, I'd like to welcome back Miss Stinnett. She's been out of the country for approximately 3 weeks, and I'm sure she'll expand on that during her comments.
Thank you, Mr. Goodall.
But as all of you know, we had some inclement weather with the snow, and I have received numerous calls about the snow, and rather than try to call Jeff or Phil every 15 minutes, I thought I'd just wait until this council meeting and tell each of you thank you for the wonderful job that your department and your men did during the snowfall. By way of example, the street department worked 26 consecutive hours. They applied over 8,500 gallons of brine solution to our streets. We have logged a total of 300 miles of grading the city streets with the snow plows. That was quite some efforts, and along with several tons of sand. So they did an excellent job. During this snowfall, I know that Phil's, the water and sewer fellas had to be called out on a water break in the snow, and I personally went over there myself in a 4-wheel drive along with them and witnessed it, and it was quite an event to make those necessary repairs in the snow. So both departments, the police department also did an excellent job keeping the businesses safe and checking businesses during the time that they were closed. So I just wanted to let all of you know that. The next thing, as you recall, when you approved the 2015 budget, you approved a 3% raise. That raise will go into effect this coming pay period. Our budget it really looks good. We're doing much better than what I thought, so it will go into effect the next pay period. And with that having been said, I believe that is all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Goulart. Next item on the agenda, City Council comments. Ms. Stinnett, tell us about your trip.
Well, good day, mates, and thank you very much, Mr. Goulart, for that welcome. I'll try to be cluey with you and not a little cheeky and share with you just a brief comment from Down Under, which was absolutely fabulous. Note the tan that I'm sporting. It was warm. I'm sorry I missed the snow. But I'll have some photos up on Facebook to share with you guys a little later. Let's get down to business. Fort Oglethorpe Codes Officer Bill Willett has asked me to remind all citizens to have their house numbers displayed prominently for emergency personnel to be able to locate your house just in case. That's so important in a time of emergency that they can find your house quickly. So please make sure the numbers are prominently displayed on your homes. This Saturday evening is the Luck of the Irish. March 14th, 7 p.m. is the St. Patrick's Dance and Dinner at the American Legion Battlefield Post 214, and that's located at 540 Park City Road. It's only $15 per person or $25 per couple to enjoy corned beef and cabbage, dessert, and sweet tea. And music will be provided by the Johnson Carpenter Band. Call 706-866-3992 and reserve your tickets. You need to take Miss Linda to that, Lynn. She'll enjoy it. Congratulations go out to Fort Oglethorpe's finest. Several of our officers were honored by the Rossville Exchange Club as Officers of the Year. Included are Detective Sergeant Johnny Lanham and Detective Sergeant Tammy Davis. So congratulations, Fort Oglethorpe's finest is always outstanding everywhere they go. And that's it for Council Lady comments from Down Under.
Thank you. Mr. Smith.
Yeah, I want to back up what you said about y'all was on the ball. In the snow, that's for sure. And what you just said, that Exchange Club award, I got that way back on. I called the guy robbing the bank over here in the parking lot, and that is coveted by any officer that gets that. So I'm proud for him. Congratulations to him.
Is that it, Mr. Smith?
That's it.
Mr. Gray?
Yeah, hats off to all the departments. I think the only ones you made mad was the kids. The snow got gone too fast, they couldn't play on the streets, but it was amazing. I went to work every day and didn't have a bit of trouble. It's amazing what they did. Been a while since we had a council meeting. Hobby Lobby did open during our absence. We glad to welcome them to our city. The other ones up there are stocking the shelves as we speak, so hopefully we'll have that whole complex up and going pretty soon. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Mr. Crawford?
Yeah, I just have to say to Jeff and Phil, great job. I mean, everybody's talking about it, so I'm echoing it. It was, I got several calls of people talking about, you know, whenever they come into you could tell where the city limits Fort Oglethorpe started because of the clean roads and everything. So appreciate that. And Phil, you know, you guys do a great job, always have, and working out there. Appreciate everything y'all do. Also, I know they got out of here a little bit quick, but I'd like to say thank you to the Dizzy Dean guys. They do a great job, especially Frank Sebo. You can't talk about how many years he's put into the youth of our county and our community, and he should be applauded for everything. I mean, he does. He's got a heart for the youth, and he does a great job. And they run a first-class organization. And wished I could have told them quicker, but they got out of here. But hopefully they'll see this, and I'll tell them. But that's it. That's it.
Mr. Rogers?
Same here, guys. Good job. I got a lot of calls too on that, and everybody was so fired up about how clean the roads were. Also, Ms. Jerry was there Saturday. We had DDA training. We opened it up to folks that wanted to come to that. We had 6 members of the DDA. We had 6 additional members from the community that came from other boards and things of that nature. It was really a neat group. It was cool to see 12 volunteers from the community that spent a whole Saturday trying to help make our city better. So we had a good time, and just wanted to give a shout out to those folks.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rogers. Next item on the agenda, citizens petition. Ms. Winston, is she here? She is not here. Ken McCurry.
Thank you. My name's Ken McCurry, and what I've done is I've taken over a local recreational business in Chickamauga, 2 Canoe and Kayak Rentals. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of it. It's operated out of the Lee and Gordon Mill for the last 2 years. I know the city of Fort Oglethorpe's done a lot of work on the Blue Way improvement and putting in the new boat launches and things, and that's coming along great. What I would like to do is try and work with the city and see if y'all be interested in hosting us up here this year. We'd like to open in April like we normally do. Have the opportunity to do the same thing in Chickamauga again this year, but with all the time and money that's been spent in y'all's improvements and putting in the boat launches, there's one downfall. The creek has got all kinds of debris in it. It's got all kinds of log jams stopping the flow of water, the flow of recreation, and I know that's a big job to expect of anybody, and the city's got a lot more going on, but that's one of the things that we do. Mr. Jimmy Copinger right there, he's the previous owner of 2 Canoe that's run it for the past 2 years. He's got almost 400 man-hours in cleaning up the creek from Lee and Gordon Mill in Chickamauga all the way up to Old Charlie's and Logan's there on Battlefield Parkway. So people could use that, you know, and get the recreation out of it was meant for. And we would do the same for the city of Fort Oglethorpe. We would clean up from Battlefield Parkway all the way to Camp Jordan. I actually made that trip yesterday to Cloud Springs and Dietz. I couldn't get from Battlefield Parkway to Cloud Springs without getting out and going around 2 log jams. So it is something that would improve the recreation and the tourism and income for the city, as well as, give the community something to do. Just to give you an idea, last year, we rented to about 735 people over the summer in Chickamauga. We figure about 20% of them are locals. So you're talking about 500 to 600 people from neighboring counties and neighboring cities. We even have people come up from Atlanta, to travel that creek. So in my opinion, it would benefit me just as much to be in a better location as it would y'all to have us. And that's just something I want to propose to you. I gave y'all a little handout. The first map is the stretch of creek from Lee and Gordon Mill to Battlefield Parkway. That's 10 miles. That's a lot of work cleaning out that creek. And it's another 10 miles on the second map from Battlefield Parkway to Camp Jordan. And we've proved that we can do it and we can keep it clean and provide recreation. So that's what we'd like to do up here. Now the third and fourth photos are of the location of the boat ramp there. That fourth one is where I'd like the city's assistance and maybe hosting us at that location. There's a couple of spots there that aren't being used for anything that would suit us. And the last image is what we would put there just to operate out of. It's temporary. It wouldn't cost the city a nickel. I would provide it, and at any time down the road, if it needed to be moved or relocated, we could do that. And that's pretty much what I have to discuss with y'all and get your interest and see what your thoughts are about it.
That's something you really need to sit down and talk with Mr. Goulart about and let him report back to the council.
Okay.
So if you could do that, and then he can report back at our next city council meeting.
I'd be glad to.
Thank you very
All right.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next item on the agenda, executive session.
No, sir.
Okay, nothing on it. Mr. Smith, is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.